Okay, looks like we're live. Welcome to the live stream. Please bear with me as I do my social media sharing to get this live stream out into the world of the internet. I'm not in chat yet, so stand by for just a moment. As I get that hopefully up and running. Where's my live stream? Where's my live stream? I want to find my own live stream. Am I actually even live? Did something go wrong? I hope nothing went wrong. This is my first time going live on a new computer. So that's a thing. Why am I not seeing it? Okay, now this really has me wondering if I'm live at all. Let me check my stats here. According to this, it's been live for a minute. Like, literally. That's interesting. Just check my settings. Stream. Oh, should all be fine. Can't imagine what I would have done wrong. It's kind of irritating because I don't know if I'm live or not. Okay, let me try switching accounts here. Oh, looks like I am live. Okay, there we go. Got 4 people watching. Cool. So you were watching me just wondering what the hell for like a stretch of time. Fair enough. Okay, looks like we got some action in the chat and everything. This is awesome. Okay. Sweet. Let me just pop this out here. How's my audio? Can you hear me? Titan Maverick, Julio Plays, The Real Ayo, Sydney Price, Ketchup and Pie ASMR. I'm seeing y'all in chat. That's awesome. So if y'all could give me a radio check, if you could. Back in the day, when people would do a radio check, you ever hear the expression 5 by 5? Well, that is a measurement out of 5 of volume and clarity. So loud and clear. So 5 by 5 means you're loud and you're clear. So can I get a rating on that? Can I get a 5 by 5 or a 1 out of 5 or whatever the heck I am? Would appreciate it. I'm just doing some quick social sharing while I wait for that sound check. 1 2 1 2. Yeah, I can close that now. That rock in there. Okay, sharing it on the Small YouTubers Boost page on Facebook. I think I already tweeted it from the Small YouTubers Boost Twitter account. Now I'm just going to go and share it in some groups, starting off with Small YouTubers Boost, the big one. We're probably going to hit 107,000 people in the group, I don't know, by morning. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to mark this live stream as an announcement, and I am also going to pin it just for the duration of the broadcast so that people are constantly saying, like, oh, I didn't know there was a live stream, I missed it. And I feel bad about that. That's why I recommend people subscribe with notifications turned on. But here's just one more thing I can do that'll hopefully help. It's pulling the wrong thumbnail. This isn't meant to be a LiveTubeBuddy tutorial, but it can be. So that's funny. I'm still learning about this live stuff. What I really want to do with Small YouTubers Boost, on top of what I currently do, is I would love to be able to go live on my mobile device. That's why I want to hit 1,000 subscribers on this channel. Because constantly, you know, I'm out in the world and I see something or something occurs to me and I'm like, you know what? There's a good little nugget of advice in here, a tip, a something, and you know, I'd like to go live, or like news comes out, and I could, like, you know, it'd be nice to be able to go live on the channel and just discuss, like, oh, rule changes and stuff like that. But because of the rule about mobile lives, can't do it on this channel yet. So something to look forward to in the future. It would not replace these live streams. It would be a supplement to them. I do occasionally do a story, a video, a live video, whatever, on Instagram. There's a Small YouTubers Boost Instagram account. So I do that from time to time, but I don't know. It doesn't feel the same somehow. I guess because, I mean, we're all about YouTube, so it feels like I should stay on the YouTube platform. That's my vamping so far as I'm doing all my social sharing. Not too terribly boring, I hope. We'll be diving in shortly. I just need to finish sharing this to some Facebook groups. Then I'll get caught up on chat, and we'll dive right in with your requests. So if you do have a request, if you're watching live on YouTube, in the chat, please let me know what your request is. Would you like me to show you how to do something? A tutorial? Do you have a question, advice? You want a channel review? You want me to help you get a video unstuck? Maybe a video's not getting views anymore? I don't know. Anyways, okay. I think I've done all that crazy sharing, so now you can have my full attention. Let's check out chat. 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. You can hear me. Beautiful. Fantastic. Glad to hear it. Yeah, so this is a new computer. I actually recorded an unboxing when I got the computer, so I'll be putting this up on this channel at some point. But anyways, yeah, so I just got everything kind of set up and figuring out, like, I did a clean install of OBS Studio. I've done a couple things, like I was trying something, different scenes in OBS. Let's give it a try. Watch out, my face is about to get huge. I got face cam. I got a thing where I can share my desktop, so whoa, look at that. Phone calls and stuff where I had to, like, take the call. I actually remember one time, gosh, it must have been about a year ago now, I got a call that my mother had been hospitalized during one of these live streams. So, you know, God willing, nothing like that coming up, but this is a good reminder to silence my phone. We don't want those content ID matches. Those suck. So there we go. My phone is silent. I've got a chunk of time I can spend with you guys. I'm not sure how long, so we'll see how long it stays interesting, how long my voice holds up. I'm still getting over a bit of a cold, but I haven't done one of these live streams in quite a while, and I really wanted to, and so I had the opportunity, so here we are. I have my speakers and my desktop audio muted, so if I do happen to go to a channel and a video autoplays, the audio should not come through, and I will pause anything right away. I'm not here to host content or steal content or any of that. I'm here to help you guys. So I won't be watching any videos. That's a caveat. I'm also not going to subscribe during this live stream. If I see something I like, I might come back on my own time and subscribe then. But the whole idea about this is, I believe that YouTube is a fantastic platform, and it could be a bit more fair, to be completely honest. It could be democratized a little. I think that sometimes people who don't know the lingo, they don't know tricks of the algorithm or where to find specific options, or a lot of these little technical niggling details hold them back. And they could be fantastic performers. They could have the best ideas in the world. You know, they could be great script writers. They could be doing, you know, animation, cover songs, whatever it is. They could be the best at it because of silly little technical things. Well, maybe not silly, but because of little technical things, it's holding them back. And I don't think that's fair. I think that YouTube is best when the quality of your work and your ideas and your talent is what rises you to the top, not because you knew to check the box. And so that's what I want to try to do, is make it a little bit more fair, share some information with people. And so if I can show you a technical trick, if I can show you end cards or info cards or TubeBuddy or some other thing, and that tip makes you make an improvement in your workflow, and then you start getting tons of views and subscribers, that's a lot better than getting one view out of this guy and one subscriber out of this guy. That is, that could be, you know, transformative. And so I started doing these live streams because I'm the admin of Small YouTubers Boost, which is a very large Facebook group for small YouTubers. If you're not a member, I recommend you join. We have a discount code in the announcement section for TubeBuddy, and it's just a wonderful community where you can get a lot of great feedback, a lot of ideas. If you run into a technical challenge, people can help you work through it, give you some advice. You can meet people for collabs. I've collaborated with a bunch of people from the group. Somewhat recently in the summer, I collaborated with Angela Lynn. We did a scavenger hunt in downtown Vancouver, and so we met through the group. So it's really quite fantastic. So if you're not a member, I highly recommend you join. There's a lot of advantages to being a part of that great community. And so anyways, it was about a year and a half ago, the community actually started asking me to do live streams. And the thing was, like, I said, like, hey guys, wouldn't it be better if we could try and find someone who's a little bit more successful and who might know what they're talking about? And ironically, I did a poll and stuff, and the feedback was that for whatever reason, people wanted to hear it from me. Maybe because they knew me, I don't know. I mean, I'd like to think that it's a sign of trust, and I greatly appreciate that. So I started doing this, and it's just been a hell of a lot of fun. So that's why I'm here. That's what I'm up to. That's what this is all about. So what this live stream becomes is largely up to you as an audience. I go based on chat. So make sure that you're in the chat. And I recommend, if you're not subscribed with notifications turned on, to do so that you can join future live streams right away and get your request in early. Because as these potentially grow in popularity, it might be harder and harder to get your request in. So anyways, I think that's all of the explanation and terms and conditions and stuff like that. Video's not sponsored, whatever. No children will appear, whatever else I might need to say to make sure that I'm okay here. So let's get into the chat here. So yeah, Titan Maverick, Julio Plays, The Real AO, Sydney Price, Ketchup and Pie ASMR. Thank you all for joining us nice and early. That was before I even got into chat. So appreciate that. 1,000 out of 1,000 for my audio check. That's very nice. Somebody said taco for some reason. I do like tacos. It's been a little while since I had tacos. I got really sick in Mexico because I had street side tacos at La Bufadora in Ensenada. And oh my God, it was horrific. I spent like 3 days in a hotel in Los Angeles just with agonizing cramps. I couldn't sleep at night. It was horrible. And it's like, I could have been going to Disneyland and stuff, but instead I had to have those stupid street tacos. So I love tacos, but you know what? I'm gonna go to Taco Bell. I'm gonna go to some place that I'm gonna check TripAdvisor, maybe the health rating before I have tacos. But yeah, it was funny. I was traveling for work recently, and the hotel they put me up was like across the parking lot was a Taco Bell, and I ate Taco Bell every night for like 3 days in a row. I ate my way through their menu, and it was delightful. All right, let's see here. Okay, looks like Sydney Price is requesting a channel review. So let's dive right in. Oh, Achilles Melee, welcome to the party, man. Good to see you. All right, so yeah, let's dive in. Sydney Price wants a channel review, and I don't think I've reviewed that channel before, so let's just do it. Before I go too deep here, a couple pieces of information for you. I'm sharing my screen, as you can see, my web browser here, and you might notice that there could be slight differences from your web browser and your YouTube experience. So there's basically 3 things that I have that could be different from yours, and I'll explain what they are and what I think the advantage is. The first one is I actually have YouTube Premium. So that's a monthly subscription that you pay to remove ads and get access to what used to be known as YouTube Red content or Premium. I believe most of that stuff is becoming free in the future, but it gets you access to like bad internet with College Humor and Cobra Kai and stuff like that. That's some content that you only get with a subscription, I think, currently. But also just removes all the ads, and that is nice. So that also helps with me doing these reviews because then I don't have to worry about ads popping up. So that's kind of cool. And so that's one thing that is going to look a little different. Top left-hand corner, it says Premium, not YouTube. The other thing I have going on here is I'm set to dark theme, and that's just because that's how I prefer it. For one thing, if you're using a mobile device like a tablet, a phone, or a laptop, having a darker theme drains your battery slower. So it's actually more power efficient, and I'm a little light sensitive in the eye, so I actually prefer it darker anyways. So that's a thing to think about. And the third piece is I have the TubeBuddy browser plugin installed. And not only that, but I have the Legend account, the Legend level account subscription, whatever you want to call it, with TubeBuddy. So TubeBuddy is a browser plugin, website, and mobile app that helps you manage your channel. And I use it a lot. And there's a link down below. It's an affiliate link, but there's a free version, whatever you like. But I went whole hog August of last year. I tried the free version for 2 weeks, and then I got Legend, and I haven't looked back. And it is actually a huge asset in helping me do these channel reviews. So those are the 3 things that are different about my setup that might be different from a vanilla YouTube experience. Premium, dark mode, and TubeBuddy. So with that in mind, let's go check out Sydney Price's channel, see what's what, and what kind of information we can give here. So, for one thing, we're already starting off with a little bit of brand confusion because there are 2 channels with the identical name. One has 66 subscribers, one has 4, one has 14 videos, one has 7. So, also, my TubeBuddy browser plugin has added some information on the right-hand side, you'll see. So it shows the keyword score, and it actually says that the keyword score for this name is actually fair. So it's not a bad name, despite there being a little brand confusion right now. It's not actually recommending any related searches at the moment. And there's the most used tags. So if you have the free version of TubeBuddy, I think you'll just get 3. And then if you have Pro, Star, Legend, you have more and more and more. And so I have Legend, and so this will go on freaking forever because I love TubeBuddy and I just couldn't get enough of it. So that's what that is. So it looks like with this name, some common tags that are associated with it is natural hair, starter locks, and then of course components of the name, cover, lock journey, self-care, usher, burn. So what I'm seeing here is I think that there's 2 channels, and one of them I think is going to be a natural hair channel, and I think the other one is going to be a musical cover channel. And that is what I think is going on here. I just want to hop back into chat to make sure I'm looking at the right one, so I'll get a logo match. So it looks like the top one is the Sydney from chat. So that's good news. You came up first, so you're kind of winning that brand battle there, which is good. One thing that I find useful about the Legend version of TubeBuddy is you can have brand alerts. And so if someone's using your name, it does like a weekly thing where you can go onto the website. Everybody knows about the browser plugin. Everybody knows about the mobile app. But the website itself actually has some useful functionality, especially if you go whole hog, get Legend like I did. And so I've set up some brand alerts. In fact, that's something I got to deal with because there's a couple channels. My primary channel is called Vacation Impossible. And it looks like someone else's have been starting to use that name. So that's a new development for me. So I got to be careful about brand confusion, making sure I'm locking down and owning my own search terms. So I've been starting to put Vacation Impossible as a tag in my own videos to make sure that I'm sort of owning my brand that way. So that's something to think about. So let's look at Sydney at the first result here. 66 subscribers, 14 videos. I'm going to guess a relatively young channel, but that's good because there could be a lot of potential for growth and improvement here. So the description that appears here pulls from your About page of your channel, and it truncates. What that means is it gets cut off at a certain point. Now, whether you're on mobile or tablet, laptop, the size of your whatever, it might truncate to different degrees. And I think one thing that YouTubers in general, small YouTubers specifically, often don't think about is how their channel appears in search. We're so concerned about getting our videos ranked, and don't get me wrong, that's absolutely important. I believe success on YouTube comes from like 100 little things, and one of those 100 little things is having a description that identifies what you're about and entices an audience really quickly. This is like a tweet of old. It's just that short, and it has to explain quickly and grab people. And you can put additional stuff a little bit later on. But your channel does come up in search results, and so that's one avenue that people can discover you. And as small YouTubers, we need every advantage we can get, right? So let's remember that. Also, as I'm going through this channel review and other Q&A tutorials, whatever we end up covering in the next however long we're together, I might be talking about one channel, but a lot of what I'm talking about I think will apply to a lot of people out there. So I might spend a lot of time on one channel, but that's if there's a lot of meaty stuff that I think will give value to a lot of people. And so it might seem like I spend a long time, and that's just kind of how I roll. So yeah, that's just a note about that. So looking here, the description is, follow me on my journey of getting locks. And I presume locks is like referring to hair. So this would be the natural hair channel. I think the other one is probably the musical cover. From start to finish and everything in between, I'll be taking y'all with me. There will also ... So that I'm using Firefox, on my browser, that's where it truncates. So this is pretty good. It's telling me, I think, largely what the channel is about. I think if the words natural hair appeared, assuming it is about natural hair, which I think it is, that would probably be a little bit more clear for people who might not know the colloquial. And it's also good to remember that YouTube really is global. So there are going to be people from different regions where terminology can be different, even within, say, the United States or the UK or Australia. They can have different terms. Like I've been noticing lately, I say I go to the movies. But in Australia, they seem to say that I go to the cinema, which actually I kind of like. It's kind of like that old style, like it's almost a classier, older way of expressing it. That's just my personal taste. So I've actually started saying cinema more because I just like it. But little things like that. And so I think by having locks and then also maybe a little a little bit later on, but still in this early part, natural hair, makes it super clear, particularly if somebody is translating this into other languages as well. Because, hey, everybody grows hair. Well, almost everybody. But the thing is that, yeah, like, I suspect that a lot of your video could have a global appeal. I mean, obviously, it's probably less of a concern in like the third world and stuff like that, but places are developing. You don't know what the future holds, so I think trying to keep those sorts of things in mind doesn't hurt. But like I said, what you got here is really good. The other reason I'm mentioning natural hair is that's the top most used tag that's coming up associated with your channel name. And so for SEO, that's search engine optimization. For SEO purposes, having it here is good as well, because when people search for your channel, the words you use in your description impact what search terms you come up in. And it can have an impact on individual videos as well. One of the big things about YouTube is that it has this algorithm, this monstrous beast that nobody understands fully. And so the thing is that YouTube has grown. It's massive. Second largest search engine in the world. I'm sure you all know that already. And so Alphabet, Google, YouTube, whatever you want to call them, they've had to come up with automation to manage something so huge. And that's where the algorithm comes in. And a big thing about the algorithm is that it wants to have confidence that it knows what you're about. And so if you want to appear high in search results, if you want to be recommended and suggested on other people's videos, if you want to appear on the homepage, you want to help that algorithm as much as possible. A lot of people complain about the algorithm and feel it's a contentious relationship, and I don't blame them. It's frustrating sometimes. But if you can think of the algorithm as your silent partner, or it just in some way try to work with it, then you'll probably have more success on the platform. Whether you're emotionally or morally opposed to it, maybe you're concerned that it's Skynet or Legion or something, and I don't blame you for that either. But if you want to be successful on YouTube, if that's your primary concern, then you got to think of it as something that can be on your side, and that you want to be on your side, and that you want to work collaboratively with it. So anything you can do to increase its confidence. So the algorithm looks at a lot of things: your channel name, channel description, video titles, all sorts of stuff. And so if natural hair is a tag you use a lot, it really should exist in your description of your channel, and hopefully early on. But like I said, that's actually a really good description. Normally I go through and I rip these things apart and say delete that and replace this, but honestly I think it's a pretty good starting place. So I think just trying to fit the word natural hair in there a little earlier is I think a good idea. So let's dive into the channel and take a look. I've got a lot of first impressions here, lots of thoughts. So the way that the banner is, I'll just start top to bottom and work my way down. The way that the banner is displaying, it looks not great centered up and down. So I feel like the image should be moved up a little bit. One thing that I recommend you consider doing, and again, this is for just pretty much anybody watching. I should share this live stream on Reddit. I'm going to do that in a second. I think I still have it on my clipboard. No, I don't. Okay, never mind. If somebody else wants to share this on Reddit, we've got a Small YouTubers Boost subreddit. It's like a sandbox you can play in for people who are kind of a little leery about Reddit. It's a safe place you can hang out. Maybe gain some karma. Anyways, so if you can do a Google search for, there's a lot of templates out there that are all about that banner. And so what you can do is, if you got something like Photoshop, you could kind of do an overlay where the template could be a layer at like 50% transparency. And then you can see exactly how your banner is positioned on mobile devices, tablets, desktop TVs, all the resolutions. And so what you're going to want to do is have your key graphic and text and image in the smallest box, because that way it will be visible on every device. Hopefully that makes sense. So this is not bad. I can see clearly the journey to locks and more. It's legible. It's high contrast. Those are all great. I would just recommend adjusting the image such that it appears a little bit more centered in sort of the up-down vertical position. Otherwise, that's solid. I notice you don't have any social links here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop to the About page for just a moment. And underneath where the location is, if you go to this page and edit it, you have the ability to link to social media accounts. And so you could be saying right now in chat, because I'm not looking at chat, I apologize, I'll get to it later. I'm just trying to focus on this this consultation channel review. This free help I'm trying to give you. You might be saying, oh, I don't have Twitter, I don't have Instagram, I'm not on social media so much. And that's fair, but what I do recommend people do is go and create an account with your channel name, even if you don't really use it. Twitter's a great example because it's relatively easy to go and just create that. And the example that I often use is, let's say you blow up overnight. Let's say you have a viral video hit. I don't know, some pop star tweets about you or something, and suddenly you wake up one morning and you have 100,000 subscribers. And so suddenly you're a brand, and it can happen overnight. That's not a expectation, but let's be prepared for success, right? And so if that happens, what if someone was to create a bunch of accounts pretending to be you, trying to capitalize on what you've built? So if you go and you sign up, and even if you're just camping on some usernames, so long as it's part of your brand, at least then you've protected it, and you can be, well, like they could see the fake account was created yesterday, the real one was a year ago. More likely that's the real one. And then if the graphics and everything line up, those sorts of things, having a social media presence on a variety of platforms is so useful in so many different ways. It builds credibility. So for Instagram or Twitter, and maybe YouTube, because they were they took a step in this direction and away from it and then back, and it was kind of a whole thing. But when it comes to getting verified, that special check mark, whether it's gray or blue or in a little bubble or whatever, depending on the social media platform, that's huge because it really adds credibility and authority to your channel. It says you are the owner of this brand. And a lot of platforms, when they think about giving someone that magic check mark, they will check their other social media. And if the profile picture and the banner, the artwork and the content is consistent, they're more likely to give it to you. So it increases your likelihood of getting the check mark. It locks down your brand from imposters. Earlier, I was talking about there's like another Vacation Impossible out there. It's not actually a channel. I think it's a channel that's doing a series of videos or something. I haven't looked into it. I just saw the brand alert yesterday on TubeBuddy. I haven't had time to look at it in detail. But I'm all over the place with this same logo and consistent content. So if there was ever a question about who's the real Vacation Impossible, I can stand up. I don't even like Eminem. Anyways, so that's just some thought. It's really easy to do. And then once you have some social media accounts, Pinterest, whatever it is that might interest you, when you're uploading a video, there's a share panel where just in a couple of clicks, you can share to Twitter, you can share to Reddit, Instagram, no, not Instagram, you can share to Pinterest, Blogger, Tumblr. There's a lot of integration there. And so it's just a couple of clicks and then you're cross-posting. And so maybe you'll end up getting traction there, maybe you won't, but it will help build that authenticity and help protect your brand. So not a lot of work, could potentially be a huge benefit one day. So that's just something to consider. A couple things as I'm going through here. Again, I have that TubeBuddy browser plugin, and this you would have even with the free version. So, I mean, if you don't have TubeBuddy, I don't mean this as an insult, but if you don't have TubeBuddy, I don't know that you're really trying. Maybe you haven't heard of it, and that's totally fair, and so if I'm introducing you to the idea, I'm happy to help. There is a link down below, but definitely at least get the free version because it does include Channelytics, which is what I have here. And so this is showing me some useful things about the channel in an easy to display way. People are saying, oh, you can do this stuff for free. Yeah, if you look into the HTML code, you can look up some of this stuff, but why not just have the free browser plugin that puts it right there? Like, yeah, I could, and I used to look at the code, and it was tedious. This is much faster, so save yourself the time. Anyway, so Channelytics provides some useful information, like there's a real-time subscriber count here. I know how many videos and views you have across the channel. That's not all, none of that's particularly special, just straight up owning it. I'll tell you the good and the bad of things. But the channel tags are here, and so you've got hair, locks, natural black, YouTuber, and Jacksonville. So I'm wondering if, just looking at the videos I'm seeing here, I'm not seeing that your videos are about Jacksonville. So if you don't do videos that are about Jacksonville, that might not be a great tag to have. But maybe you do. Maybe you cover salons in Jacksonville or where you can in Jacksonville go shopping for the products that you might use or something like that. So in which case, keep it. But also I'm noticing that all of these channel tags are a single word. And for small YouTubers, the strategy that is generally more effective is to go for what we call long-tail keywords. Long-tail keywords is a keyword that actually has multiple words within it. So you can go into your advanced settings for your channel, and by putting, I think, either quotes or commas around things, you can actually have like entire phrases as a keyword. And so, I mean, do you have any idea how many people, how many channels you're competing against with the tag YouTuber? It's got to be huge. And so if you had a single tag that was natural hair, that would do better than just hair on its own and just natural on its own. And if you also had like natural hair YouTuber, then that would also be a little bit better. And yeah, maybe if there is a Jacksonville component to things, natural hair YouTuber Jacksonville natural hair YouTuber. Having some of those, you can have a lot more tags in there that you do, and by I think having multiple word tags, you'll be more competitive. As your channel grows and you begin to have an audience and you post a video and without any promotion, it starts getting views because you've got those subscribers with notifications turned on, which are a blessing, let me tell you. And if you are for this channel and or Vacation Impossible, thank you. I greatly appreciate it. But then once you have that momentum behind you and that audience built up, then you can start being more competitive for the smaller keywords because you'll have the advantage of that audience boosting you in that direction. So that's something that I recommend. I've been to Jacksonville. I got to say the people there that I met were absolutely lovely. So I love Jacksonville, the place. I took a cruise out of Jacksonville, and as a Canadian, honestly, they didn't treat anyone who wasn't American that great at the port. So I don't have plans to go back to Jacksonville for that reason, because I'm kind of a cruiser. But if I had a non-cruise reason to be in Jacksonville, I would be happy to be back because I found that the people there are absolutely lovely and friendly. Totally not relevant to what we're talking about. I just wanted to give a little love to the very nice, polite, friendly people in Jacksonville. So moving on to the right here, this compare stats is again part of the Chanalytics tool with TubeBuddy. And you'll notice that there's a couple things going on here. For one thing, the subscriber panel loaded on its first try. Yes, this used to not work great, but it looks like they've upgraded it, and so awesome. So this is just showing the subscriber growth for the last 30 days of this channel versus my channel. And so it's not about the comparison. I'm just looking to see what kind of growth pattern you have here. And yours is in the red. And so I'm seeing that there is a fairly steady growth pattern of subscribers. So this channel seems to be growing at a consistent rate. That's healthy. That's a good sign. And so that's awesome. I'm noticing that there was a spike in subscribers on Halloween. And so I bet I can guess why. I bet you put out a video around Halloween. So I've got this drop-down box here. I can look at what happened with the views over the last 30 days. Again, it's kind of a compare metric, but okay, I'm seeing that there was a bit of a spike in your views on the 30th. So around the 30th, 31st, something happened. Something positive happened. Now I can see when you posted videos. Now I'm going to bet that you posted a video probably on the 30th or the 31st, maybe both. Survey says the 29th. I was pretty close. So the video you put out on the 29th seemed to have cause a spike in viewership and subscribers. And so whatever that video was, you might want to consider doubling down on that kind of content, pursuing that. If you're thinking, do I talk about, vacations with natural hair or just talk about natural hair, and maybe that video is just focused on natural hair, your audience is potentially giving you clues as to what's working well for you. So I recommend you give some thought into the video you put out on October 29th and ask yourself, what about that was different? Did it have a great thumbnail? Did I title it effectively? I was talking about SEO earlier, search engine optimization. There's an old joke that I rather enjoy. People often ask me, what is SEO? And yeah, search engine optimization. You're writing your titles, your tags, and your description, and maybe even your comments in such a way that makes you very searchable. Search engine friendly might be another way of putting it, although SEF doesn't really roll off the tongue. And so the idea there is one of the things that, SEO is often known for is using synonyms, right? Because I was talking earlier about locks and natural hair. There's somewhat hair and locks are synonyms in certain areas, but it's good to use both. So the old joke is an SEO expert walks into a pub, watering hole, pool hall, whatever, and then you just list off a bunch of synonyms. I didn't do the best delivery on that joke because I'm multitasking here, but hopefully, you get the idea. So just scrolling a little bit further down, another note about TubeBuddy. You can use TubeBuddy to check out your competition. I recently did a live video here. You can watch it after this if you want, where I talk about how you can use TubeBuddy to check and kind of spy on your competition. I mean, I don't want it to sound nefarious, but if you want to be a big YouTuber, if there's a YouTuber you look up to, or you want to know who's a success in your genre and how they got there, you can use the TubeBuddy plugin to go look at their channel and their videos. And one of the things here is this has the ability, I talked about those channel tags. You could click right here and copy someone else's channel tags, paste those to your clipboard directly into your channel. And 2 notes about this. 1, make them your own. If you're just copying someone else, you're just going to be a poor copy of someone else. Use it as inspiration or a starting place, or maybe filler for now if you don't have anything better in mind. But make sure that you eventually make it your own is something that I strongly advise. And the bigger thing is keep them appropriate. So if you copy someone else's tags and it includes like their name, or maybe they're based in Mississippi and not Jacksonville, and there's a tag for Mississippi, like, you know, maybe that's a bad example. There's a few Jacksonvilles out there. Actually, I just assumed that you're Jacksonville, Florida, but maybe you're not. Anyways, let's say somebody had a tag of New York. You know, copying that, it would be misleading, and that can actually get you in trouble with YouTube in 2 separate ways. Your videos and channels could get shut down if you tag them with, frankly, lies, with things that are not accurate. It's called misrepresentation, and people are able to report videos for misrepresentation. If there's a thumbnail that says it's a Sonic the Hedgehog video and it's called Sonic the Hedgehog, and I click on it and it's a makeup tutorial that has nothing to do with that at all, you know, then that's misrepresentation. And so channels can be penalized and have videos removed and even channels shut down for doing too much of that. So make sure that it's accurate, and I recommend customizing it to yourself. But it's not a bad place to start, especially for those earlier channels that are still kind of learning how these things work. Another idea is you could go into your analytics and you could look at the search terms that are driving people to your channel. And if those are not in your channel tags, maybe they should be. Maybe get, crib an idea from your audience. Why not? If you got that data, use it. So scrolling right along in the channel down here, I see that you have an uploads playlist, which is a default setting, but that's the only one. Now you do have 14 videos, so there's a couple things about your channel layout that you can do. You can activate a side panel on the right-hand side that would be like recommended channels. And I recommend you do that for a couple of reasons. One of the things that I've kind of learned through my experience, it's not a guarantee, but my understanding is that the algorithm, YouTube favors you for using all of the bells and whistles they give you, all of the tools. I think it tells the algorithm this person is serious. And it's also an opportunity to give that algorithm more information so it can raise its confidence that it knows what you're about. So if there's a YouTuber you look up to, you could put them as a recommended channel. If there's hair care products that you use and that you really like, and obviously I can't think of any at the moment, I don't know, Dove or something, some company, that maybe works, Pantene, I think I've heard of that one. These are not products for me. But the point is that if there's brands that you absolutely adore, you could put the brand, their official YouTube channel is something that you recommend as well. And this serves a couple of purposes. One, it shows your audience that you support other channels. And I think that builds goodwill both with your audience and with the community of other YouTubers. So that in the future, if you're looking for a collaboration opportunity, or maybe someone comes to your channel and thinks, hey, is this a good person to collab with? Well, they recommend some other channels. So yeah, maybe they're kind of like giving in that way. Maybe they would be the kind of person I want to work with. And also it gives those signs to the algorithm that if it is natural hair channels that you're recommending, then you know what, it's like a little plus point in the algorithm that it's like, you know what, increased confidence that this channel is about natural hair. Okay. And when the algorithm's more confident, then the algorithm is more confident to share your channel and videos with other people. So I'm going to take a look at your playlist here and see if you have any set up. Oh, you do. Liked videos. Oh, hey, you like this tutorial. That's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. So you got some playlists there. Looks like it's about music, something about relaxing while you sleep, I think. So what I would recommend is creating, and it might be a little early, but if there are some themes in the videos you've created, if you could create a couple of playlists and add the videos to that, again, it's a little plus on the algorithmic score for that video. The name of the playlist, if it matches up with the theme of the videos, increases the algorithm's confidence that it knows what these are about, but also then you can add those playlists to your homepage. In the meantime, one thing is a bare minimum I recommend you go in is you can, when you're on the screen, you click edit, scroll to the bottom, you can, there'll be a plus, it'll say add section. If you click on that, one of the things you can do is do popular uploads, I think. I think that's what it's called. This will be your 6 most watched videos, and it automatically updates as different videos get more views than others. And I think that's a good idea because it flushes out the channel creation. It looks like a fuller, more complete channel. It's something that's a set it and forget it. You do it one time and it's there forever if you leave it. But also, when I come to a channel and maybe I saw a video or two and I'm like, yeah, it's kind of good, I like to go to the most popular videos to be like, what is this person's bread and butter? What are they known for? What are they successful for? Show me your best. It might not be their best. Best is not objective. It's super subjective. But at least I can see what a lot of people have watched for whatever reason. And so that is, as an audience person, as a potential subscriber, that's a data point I like to go to. If it's not there, I got to click on videos, and then I got to sort by most popular. Let's make it easy, right? As well, again, if a channel or a brand wants to work with you as a collaboration or a sponsorship, they might want to see, okay, what's the most number of views she's ever gotten? You know, what kind of potential audience is out there? And what is the most popular videos? They'll probably check that out. So I think having that is helpful for those reasons. So looking here, so I see your most popular video has 103 views compared to least watched is 12. So that is 4 months of exposure behind it, whereas the other one was just a week ago. So there's not a lot of data for me to crunch on there, but I am seeing a few things here, like starter locks, counting my locks, health and hair, lock update, cutting my hair. Give me one more hair video. Lock appreciation, boom, there, 6 videos. You put that in a playlist, you put that playlist on your home screen, and you'll have a full panel across of other videos people can click on without having to dive too deep. Let's make our videos easy to find and click on. So I recommend, you create a playlist for natural hair, you put it underneath your uploads, and then underneath that, put your popular videos. These are little things that you set it and forget it, and over time, you could see some benefit from. Super easy, not a huge investment of time. But I'm also noticing that it looks like you're covering a variety of topics. I'm seeing grad school, making sushi, face mask. Face mask is like tangential, I think, to the hair because it's sort of about the hygiene and self-care thing. And so that's probably okay. But going all the way to the point of talking about making food and grad school, that gets into outside of a consistent niche. I'm not saying you can't do that, but I want you to know, so you go in making an informed choice, that that's harder to succeed with the algorithm. Because the algorithm is going to see that you're doing a hair video one week and a food video the next week and a grad video the next week, and it's not really going to know what you're about. So it's going to have lack of confidence that it understands you, and so it might be less likely to show your videos. Now, I'm not telling you to delete them or private them. You can if you want. You might want to create different playlists for themes. That's not a bad idea. But it's just something to think about going forward. Why are you doing YouTube? Do you want a giant audience? Do you want to make tons of money? Do you want to be famous? Do you want to meet cool people? Do you want to get free products? Or is this an expression of yourself? Is it like an artistic expression? Is it therapeutic? Some people use YouTube as a way of just like capturing the growth of their children. That you can use YouTube for so many different things. But if one of those core things that you want is the algorithm working with you and for you to get more eyeballs on your content, then niching down is what they call it, is get as narrow a focus as possible. That will help you with the algorithm. Now, I can't tell you what to do. I just want to give you that information so you can make an informed choice. There's a retro game YouTuber that I really enjoy named Pat Contry, Pat the NES Punk. And I was at a panel of his at a convention a couple years ago, and one of his kind of shows that he does on his channel is called Flea Market Madness, where I think he straps a GoPro to his forehead and goes to a flea market. And he's winding it down because he doesn't enjoy the flea markets anymore. He has a complete NES collection, so it's less interesting for him. But he said that if all he ever did was Flea Market Madness, and he just put out one video every week of nothing but that, he'd have 1 million subscribers. But it wouldn't fulfill him as an artist or a person, and he said that it would be boring, basically, and it would be more like a job. And so that would be, some people would look at that and say like, that's fantastic, you should have done it. And other people are like nodding their head and they're like, yeah, I get it. But that's a choice, and it's a choice that I think every channel needs to make for themselves, just so long as they know the cost of it in the current environment. So there you go. Just looking at the About page. Yeah, there will also be a couple non-hair related things that I've been wanting to try and use as self-care, new things. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe, share. So I think a paragraph break in there somewhere is a good idea. And again, the words natural hair do not appear in this description. And so really, you have like non-hair, which is like almost a counterindication. You can still leave that, but try to work try to work those two words together in there somewhere. Additionally, you don't have an email here, which there is. You can go in and edit this and have an email, but make it, and the way that YouTube does this, it makes it so that someone has to click on it to see the email. Now, I can understand that maybe you don't want a whole lot of spam, and so you might not want your email totally public. But if they have to click on it, then it's harder for the bots and the spiders and everybody to go and just like spam you like crazy. If they have to click, it's harder to capture. But right now, if I was Neutrogena or some, a beauty company or something, L'Oreal or somebody, and for some reason I wanted to work with you, maybe I stumbled across one of your videos or something. As it stands right now, I have no way of reaching out. There's no social media. I can't tweet at you. I can't send you an email. The best I could do is comment on one of your videos. And let me tell you, as a content creator, especially as you get more and more views, it's hard to kind of wade the spam comments from the legitimate ones. So commenting on a video is not the most professional way to approach somebody, I find. For one thing, there's a signal to noise problem where the creator is not likely to see it after they get to a certain point where they're getting so many comments that it's easy to miss them. So I do recommend having your email available that they click on. Maybe not your primary email. Maybe open up a new Hotmail account or Gmail account or something else. And then you could just use that for business inquiries or whatever. But then if that amazing opportunity comes along, they have a professional way of reaching out to you. So that's something I do recommend. Other than that, I think I spent quite a bit of time on this channel. Hopefully I'm not boring everyone to tears. But like I said, I hope this stuff applies to a lot of people. And hopefully that's somewhat useful for you. Just before I get back to chat, a quick note. If you're not able to stick with us through the whole live stream or you're just joining us now, this will be rewatchable. I think 20 to 40 minutes after the broadcast ends. You will be able to rewatch it, jump around. So, don't feel like you have to furiously scribble down notes, about what I'm talking about, because you can go back and rewatch this at your leisure. And just because whenever you can use a prop, use a prop. Scribbling down notes. Look at that. I got that from Vistaprint. That's my Vacation Impossible logo. And it says no vacation is impossible. And then at the bottom there, it's got the YouTube logo and my channel name. I don't think the camera's focusing well on that, but that's a little thing. Like, I've done some collabs with people and I needed to take notes. I also have Vacation Impossible pens. I don't have one handy right now. But yeah, so like having a little, that's one of the many different ways you can get your channel name out there. Costs a bit of money. It's a question of whether you want to invest in yourself, but whether it is a notepad or paying for a paid license with TubeBuddy, whether it's your hobby or you're trying to make money off YouTube, I think that it's good to invest in ourselves. And don't tell me you're not willing to invest in yourself in some way, because you're watching me right now. And so you're spending your time, your precious time. And so thank you. I appreciate you being here, and I hope this is helpful and giving you value. But if you're spending time with me, then that's you're investing in yourself. And hey, I think feel pride of that. Feel proud about that. And there's a lot of different ways to invest in yourself. Watching instructional YouTube videos, reading articles, buying camera equipment, whatever it is. And I think that people should feel good when they're able to do that. So back at chat here, Ketchup and Pie ASMR. My channel is mainly food, but also exploring some other types of ASMR. That's an interesting sort of Venn diagram of food and ASMR. I think where those two meet, you almost get into sort of mukbang territory, which if John was around, would be all excited about. Some people just love that stuff. Let's see here. Keep exploring the live stream. Not sure what that means exactly. It's indeed a fantastic platform. I assume you're talking about YouTube. YouTube is an amazing platform. It has so much potential, but they have to manage it in such an automated way that it's gotten there are new barriers to entry. It used to be like, hey, anyone with an internet connection and a camera could become famous. But if you don't know what an end card is, it's harder. If you don't know what SEO is, it's harder. And so those things have layered upon layered upon layered upon, that it is like this beast, this terrifying beast. And so if I can hack off some of the beast's limbs for you, hopefully that's worth your time. Ultimate Gamer, welcome back. I've reviewed your channel before, I remember. Ketchup and Pie SMR says, I like your voice. Thank you. That's very nice to hear. I do have a podcast, the Vacation Impossible podcast, if you'd like to hear more of my dulcet tones. Watch out. The ego is fed a little bit. It's like a mogwai. Don't feed it after midnight. Ketchup and Pie ASMR says they collab with fellow creators. Yeah, I mean, and if I could do like some voice work for you, if I was able to find the time, that'd be cool. When approaching another creator about a collab, I have some advice. And I think my biggest piece of advice is have an idea. Have a specific idea. If it's fully formed, that's great. I mean, don't get me wrong. A collab can be creative on both sides, and so keep an open mind. But I get so many messages, partly because I'm the admin of Small YouTubers Boost, where people be like, hey, bro, let's collab. And I'm like, oh, God, okay. I think I know where this is going, because like 99% of them all go to the same place, and that's unfortunate. I wish people weren't so predictable. So it's kind of like a stereotype, and I don't like it, but it's just the experience. And so like 99% of the time, I'm like, okay, what's your idea? And they'll come back with one of two things. One, it'll be like, we'll shout each other out, yo. And I'm like, I don't even know what your channel's about. Like, is it travel? Because I do travel. For Vacation Impossible, and I do creator support here on Small YouTubers Boost. If you're a gaming channel, it makes zero sense for me to shout you out. Even though I did earlier kind of like mention Pat Contry just because I'm a fan. But the point being is that that makes no sense. And it brings no value, creativity, and it just comes off as lazy. It's completely honest. So if you're doing that, you're wasting your time. The people who will say yes to that will probably not actually be a boon to you, honestly. Just my opinion, take it with a grain of salt. But if you have a fully formed idea, and so people have approached me. A couple of people said, hey, I've got a podcast where I interview creators. Would you love to be on? I'd be like, yes. And I've done that. And those have been so much fun. I love doing that. There was one guy, he did the No BS social media podcast. He was one of the first ones I was interviewed on. And that was just so much fun. And so he had the podcast, the audio part went out. And I think he also did a video version on YouTube. And the finished product was so nice. And it was just so much fun to do. I really kind of enjoyed listening to it, even though I'm listening to myself, a little self-serving. But that was great because they had a nugget of a specific idea. And others, like one came to me and says, hey, I've watched a couple of your videos. I think that you can do a really good voiceover for a character that I need for, a video. So would it be all right if I sent you some dialogue, you recorded it, and I'll link your channel in the description. I've done that on a couple of different channels, and that's all great. So in terms of approaching someone for a collab, I recommend having some specific idea. It doesn't necessarily have to be fully formed, but if it's like half of them say like, we'll shout each other out, bro. And then the other half of the ones that I don't work with, I'll say like, what's your idea? And they're like, well, we'll work together on a video. And I'm like, yes, that's the definition of collab. What is your idea for the collab? And I'll go round and round like 3 times where they'll be like, well, I'll film a bit and you'll film a bit. And I'm like, of what? What am I filming? What is this for? And after like the third go round, I'm like, okay, yeah, you don't have an idea. I'm just gonna stop responding. And I might just kind of leave them on scene. It might not be the nicest thing to do, but I get like hundreds of messages some weeks. And so it's just, you got to manage that signal to noise problem. And so coming with a specific idea, then the person can get excited about it. And they can also have some ideas to whether they can commit to it. I've had people approach me with such open-ended commitments, I have no idea if it was something I could do. And I don't want to say yes to something that I can't necessarily keep my word on. Just because, that's a morality thing, but also there's a practical reason because those things sometimes get out and become public. There was one guy who said, hey, I've got a social media podcast, I want to interview you. We set an appointment 3 times and he ghosted all 3 times. And then he was in the group like a month later saying, who wants to be on my podcast? And I commented, I said, hey guys, this guy does not keep his appointments. So, I'm not saying don't do it, I'm saying go in with that information. So understand that this is kind of a long shot. And he kind of got upset. And I said, like, look, here are the 3 dates and times where I booked time in my schedule and was free and you were not. And this whole thing was for your channel and, that kind of thing. So keep your word, that kind of stuff. Have an ask that is specific. And then thinking from the other side, because we are all creators, if someone comes to you with a collab, here's my approach. You don't have to follow it, but this is what I do. It's worked well for me, and I recommend it. I look at the quality of the idea. I mean, partly because that's my value here, as I want to democratize YouTube. I want YouTube to be about how good is your idea, not how many subscribers you have. So if they come to me, I ask myself 2 questions. Can I do it? Is there an idea here? Can I keep my word to it? And can I do it in the time frame that's available? And so if it's something that I think I can do and that would be kind of fun to get a little excited about, and I can do it because I'm like, okay, that script will take about an hour to record. I've got a day off, on Friday where I can put aside an hour and do it. Then I'll say yes, because I can commit to it, and it's something that'll be a little fun for me. Like, one of these ones was for a gaming channel. They were doing a tutorial video about how to play Command & Conquer Generals. And they wanted me to play this rough and gruff sort of, general guy, right? And so I was like, okay. And so I had a lot of fun with that. I remember I was in my bedroom and I had my snowball microphone hooked up to my Surface 3, and I was standing up so that my diaphragm was open. And I was trying to do a Michael Ironside impression, basically, from Starship Troopers or what is it, 2012, or he's been in tons of movies. But I just kept picturing him. He also did, I think, a season of Sequest at the end, DSV, after they jump forward in time. And so I was like, yeah, maggot, okay, I just had tons of, and so I recorded 3 different takes. One where I was reading it just kind of straight, one where I was a little gruff, and then one where I was drill sergeant, treat them like crap, call them maggots every 3rd word. And I sent them off, and that was fun to do. So the thing is that I would suggest, look at it that way and agree or decline before you check their Social Blade. Social Blade is a free website. You can look at how many views and subscribers a channel has. If their views got taken away, either through an audit or videos being privated or deleted, you can look at their trend. Are they trending up, a little, a lot, down, whatever? Gives you a lot of useful information. But look at that after you agree or decline. Is my advice, because otherwise you're just playing a numbers game, and that's a financial transaction, and your heart's probably not going to be in it. And that's the other thing, is it establishes a status relationship. If somebody with a 200,000 subscribers said, "Hey Ray, I want you to do a thing for my channel," and my little heart starts beating because I'm going to be, a channel that size is going to mention me. That's great. Am I really focused on the creative aspect of it? And now it's just me trying to impress big Mr. Famous YouTuber man, and they're like, well, okay, I thought this guy had some talent, but he's just a sycophant and he's drooling on himself. That's not great. And so let the quality of the idea be the driver. And so I've been approached by a lot of different companies, whether it's for YouTube stuff or Facebook stuff, and sometimes the ask is a little unclear. And so if someone approaches you for a collab, I've recently, over the last couple of months, I've sort of distilled down my question. And so when somebody's coming at me and they're not being really specific, but I might want to do it, I'm not sure, I often phrase it this way. I say, what do you envision my role to be, and how will I be compensated for my time? I think that's a professional and polite way to ask. It values you, it values them, and asking it professionally kind of assumes that they have a plan. And then you can see what the response is. So maybe they'll come back and they'll say oh, well, I envision you recording a couple clips. You can come up with the content, or I could write a script for you. And I'll link to you in the end card, and I'll put info card link to you, and just something in the description. Or if it's a sales thing, hey, review my product, there'll be an affiliate link, you'll get 10% of the sales. I'd like a video to be at least 5 minutes long. What do you say? At least then you have nuts and bolts understanding of what you're committing to. So as much as possible when you collab, I think that's great. I think an open-ended collab where there's no idea, no end date, no specifics is probably rare that it ever actually reaches completion. And so I don't know that it's a good investment of time. All right, let's see here. Anyways, it's almost lunchtime here in Singapore. Oops. We'll be away for lunch. We'll be back. Okay, Ketchup and Pie. So you probably missed a lot of the stuff that I was responding to things you said, but hopefully you come back and rewatch it later. DJ Talks, welcome. You know what's kind of funny, DJ Talks? I want to show you something. I want to show you a Social Blade thing. I don't know why this is happening, but it's kind of funny. I thought you'd like it. So if I go to Social Blade, again, this is that free website that gives you information about YouTube channels. And if this doesn't actually work, I'm going to feel a little silly. But if you go to Social Blade and you search this very channel, Small YouTubers Boost. Let's see. Oh, no, it took me right there. Hold on. Small YouTubers boost. Maybe that's what. Okay, that was weird. When I search on mobile, your channel comes up as the second result. That was the thing that I was going to show, which I thought was kind of funny. But for some reason, that's not happening. I don't think it was... Was it my other channel? I don't think so. I don't know. Okay, maybe it's just on mobile. That's strange. But just so people can see, I'll use DJ Talks as an example so you can see how Social Blade works. So you can see some information about a channel. This is completely free. How many uploads, how many subscribers, how many views. You can click in, and it gives you a whole bunch of information. Some badges. So here's the badge of wisdom, because they created their account at least 5 years ago. That's cool. Shows you their banner, gives you a link to their page, shows you a grade that Social Blade gives, how they rank in terms of subscribers, a Social Blade score, video views, how they rank in their country, estimated revenue that they would be making if they were monetized, and that's a range. I find that reality is normally in the 80 percentile of that estimate for my channel. You can see, what their growth pattern was, stuff like that. And one thing that's super fun, I like. And this is just fun. It's a mathematical extrapolation. It's not a promise, not a commitment. People are like, it's not always true. It's like, yeah, life is like that. But you can kind of see where things potentially could be in the future. So, for example, DJ Talks, at your current rate of growth, in 5 years, you'd be at nearly 6,000 subscribers and over 500,000 views. That's kind of fun to think about, I think. I think of it as like a curve. Like, they even show the curve here. And I picture myself walking out on that curve and pulling it, like getting my hands on it and just pulling it up, trying to get that curve to go a little bit more steep so that my growth pattern increases. So maybe if I add info cards to everything, maybe if I put out a video, twice a week instead of once a week, maybe I can bend that curve up and exceed the expectations. For me, it's a motivational thing, but, find what value you can in it. It's free. Chat is scrolling without my permission. Let's see here. Where was I? Not much, just waiting for that amazing opportunity to come. Thanks, Ray. That was helpful. From Riley Rehab. Great. I'm glad that was helpful for you. Oh, Ketchup and came back. Let's see here. I have collab either ASMR related or food related, since I do a lot of food related ASMR. Makes perfect sense to me. Gaminator says, hey, Ray. Oh, oh no. I just noticed my emails. Oh man. Okay, some things are happening. Somebody's commenting on something on Reddit. You know how I was talking about Bad Country? He's live on Twitch right now. If I wasn't doing this, I'd be watching him. Wow, I did not mean to compete with him. Dang, I'm missing out. I will not feel bad for anyone who decides to go watch him instead or open up another window with him. He's fun. But Gaminator also just subscribed. So thank you very much for subscribing to Small YouTubers Boost. Hope you put notifications on so you can join us in chat early on in future broadcasts. Gotta check mine. I think am I caught up on chat? Really? Wow, that's weird. So, That is interesting. So is there anyone who's here that is, and DJ Talks thought that was funny. Thanks for the Social Blade shout out. Hit the notifications, no worries. You're awesome. Our channel review is still open. Yeah, I'm caught up on chat. I think I'm live right now. So yeah, hit me up. Ideally, the first person to talk was Titan Maverick. So Titan Maverick, if you're still kicking around, please feel free to pose any kind of request you guys want. I'm at your disposal here. I'm guessing Achilles Melee wants a channel review, which I've looked at his channel many a time, so I'm not sure how much value I can add. I actually helped rewrite his description, but I did see that he has changed it since then, and I ain't mad at you. It's fine. Whatever works for you. I don't... the thing is, I make no claims of authority here. I'm basically a guy with a Facebook group and a channel, and my channel has less than 2,000 subscribers, but it is monetized. My primary one, Vacation Impossible. I run the Facebook group with soon to be 107,000 people in it. So, I'm happy to answer questions that you have, and take everything with the appropriate grain of salt and, know your source. I'm not saying I'm an expert by any means. If you got questions about how to run a large Facebook group, I could probably dive into that quite well. I don't know why I copied that without... Oh, okay, well, that's because there's no space. Yeah, that'll do it. Okie doke. TubeBuddy gives you a fair score. Most used tags, AC Odyssey. I believe that. AC Odyssey Update, Assassin's Creed, Dota 2. Yeah, this is all on brand for you. I'm aware of the channel. I've watched some of his live streams, some of his videos. I've commented. As you can see, I'm subscribed. I don't have notifications turned on, but I do get emails when he goes live on Twitch. I don't put notifications on from very many channels, so don't take it personally. Don't judge me by my subscriptions. Okay, so straight to the point, gaming videos on topics I think are useful, not your usual gaming YouTuber. Subscribe for many, many years of something. So that's good. It says, gaming videos right away. And that's fantastic. You've got that logo. You've been using that logo for a little bit. I think it's played well for you. So I would keep it because you're getting some brand recognition. You got more subscribers than my Small YouTubers Boost channel. So you're doing well there. Now, here's an interesting thing that Achilles Melee is doing. Instead of calling, because when you activate that recommended channels box that I was talking about earlier, you can name it whatever you want. On Vacation Impossible, it's called Awesome Channels. On this channel, Small YouTubers Boost, I have all the moderators from the Facebook groups channels linked. So I call it the mod team. It's one of the few perks that those volunteers get. So those people work their butts off for the group, and I can't thank them enough, and they get virtually nothing for it. They get that shout out on this channel's homepage, they get my undying appreciation, and that's about it. I have been, I don't know if I should be talking about this or not, but I have been for about a month and a half now, I've been in this Facebook thing. I don't know how much I can say about it, but basically we have direct access to Facebook staff. And so, they do live chats in this thing. I'm being cagey because I don't want to get in trouble. But they do live chats twice a week. And so I have direct access where I can ask Facebook staff questions. And so I've gotten some inside info about how the Facebook algo works and some other things. But I'm not supposed to talk about it totally publicly. But they did say I could tell my mods. So that's the only benefit the mod team has. They get crapped on in the group all the time. People call them racist and have conspiracy theories and call them power trippers. And it's all crazy. These are just lovely people volunteering their time to be traffic cops, in our community. And all they get is a link from this channel, a little inside information about Facebook, and my undying gratitude. But I just want to say thank you so much to the mod team. I'm not going to start listing names because I'll forget somebody and feel horrible. But if any of you are watching, mad love to the mods. So anyways, what Achilles is doing here with his recommended channel box is he is games I am playing. And so apparently right now he's only playing things by Ubisoft. North America specifically. So not Ubisoft Europe. But that is one of those ways that you can do that, because he is giving the signaling indicator to the algorithm, I'm about games, I'm about Ubisoft games. And so when he posts something that I'm assuming Assassin's Creed was by them, I'm a Nintendo fanboy. I don't know these things, but and so it gets that bit of a boost. Compare stats. Ooh, this is dangerous territory. Get competitive. Wow. Well, you're kicking my butt in the subscriber growth. You've got more than double my subscriber growth there. So, and this is comparing it to Vacation Impossible, not Small YouTubers Boost. So currently he's growing faster than Vacation Impossible is at subscribers. So I gotta watch out. This little upstart's gonna sail right past me one day. Let's see, views in the last 30 days. Crushing it. 10,000 more views than me. Well, I can help you. I can't help. He is, on occasion, uploading multiple videos a day, which kind of goes against one of my recommendations. But we both put out the same number of videos, which tells you that he's better at something. Maybe his videos are better. Maybe his thumbnails, his titles, his SEO. I don't know. But we're both putting out the same number of videos. I have a larger subscriber base. He's getting more views. There's something there. And this is the kind of information that you get with TubeBuddy. So yeah, there was a couple days where he put out 3 videos. Maybe he's right to be putting out more than 1 video a day. I don't know. Maybe I should just do a burst. I've got so many ideas for videos for this channel. In fact, I'm just right now working on a tutorial video about how to install the TubeBuddy browser plugin in Firefox, because somebody in the group was asking about it, and I think that screenshots with a voiceover as a tutorial video will be helpful. So stay tuned for that, coming soon to this channel. So he's got a lot of tags, which is good. Gaming's problematic because it's super short and high competition, but it's pretty good stuff here. His name, that's not bad. So he's got his uploads. And I mean, let's let you credit where credit is due. This guy's thumbnail game is on point. I could probably learn a thing or two. So yeah, that's good. Created playlists is interesting. Recent activities is interesting. Yeah, I mean, I would suggest having a couple playlists, and I know you do have them about specific games. There's your Assassin's Creed, How To, and Dota 2. I know that those two are kind of, or at least they were your bread and butter for a while there. So I would consider putting those on the homepage. We got No Man's Sky mods. I think that'd be interesting to throw on the homepage as well. So just some, to flush that out. He's got his Twitch and his Twitter linked, so he's doing that right. The About page. He's got the email address, got his country. I do recommend really flushing out the description, even if you just paste the old one underneath, just for SEO. I think that would not hurt at all. I think it could only help. I don't know, man. Don't know what to tell you. You could put your name in the banner somewhere, maybe. But I don't know. I mean, you're doing well. You could teach me a thing or two about getting the views. So, yeah. I don't know if you had a specific thing for me to look at as part of the channel review. Let's see here. Hook it up. I was just doing some testing. I have the description you wrote saved. Still testing some random ones. That's cool. I'm taking it personally, man. I mean, like I said, you teach me how to get the views. I got no ego about this stuff. I just want to learn. Soon you'll have a secondary group with the same goals. It's funny. I'm actually somebody in our group, Paul something, Gammon, I forget. Had this idea about creating a new group called BingeTube. The idea is that it's supposed to bring viewers and creators together, but he wants no one talking about the behind-the-scenes stuff of like how to make better videos, because it's supposed to be tailored towards those audiences. So he approached me with that, and I think that he thought that my name carries some cachet behind it, and given some of the stuff he's made for it. In fact, I think I have a Facebook message of his I forgot to read. But he was it was kind of funny. He was like, "Oh, the group created by Ray R or something," and I'm like, "Yeah, okay." If you think it helps, that's cool. And so there's that. I did create a couple of groups based on member requests back in the day. There was a medium and a big YouTubers boost, but I archived them because they were getting no activity and I was just getting swamped with work. If that's something that people want me to reactivate, I'd be willing to consider. I'd do it. I mean, it's they weren't that active, so it wasn't a lot of work. I could just turn it back on again, unarchive it in the Facebook parlance. So I'd be willing to do that. I'm not sure that it would offer particularly unique things, although a lot of people in the group do complain about the same questions coming up time and time again. And I have mixed feelings about that. I understand the frustration. I want to say a couple things about the group. We are not curated content. People are like, "Oh, there's a video here I don't want to watch. You should ban them." And I'm like, no, that's not what we're about. So it's not curated content. This is a free speech platform where people can communicate, and it's what is it? What's that quote from You've Got Mail? It's a goddamn piazza where people can meet and mingle and be. That's the highest goal I have for the group. So that's sort of what it is. But people are like, "Oh, we always get the newer people asking the questions." I'm like, you know what? I've learned things from people who have very little experience. You can learn from anywhere. Like I would really like if people kept an open mind, but. The idea behind medium and I think big YouTubers boost was that they would have numeric barriers to entry. So I'm not sure exactly what they were, what I want them to be. I think medium would maybe just be the monetization. Well, I wouldn't even go that far because I wanted to deal with watch time. Maybe just say 1,000 subscribers. Or maybe even medium would be 100 and big would be 1,000. I don't know. Because if it's any higher than that, I couldn't be in the group. And that's what I said when people were like, "You should create a big YouTubers group." I'm like, "I'm not one though." So like I couldn't be there. Well, there'll be an exception for you. And I'm like, "Oh great, I start off with a hypocrisy. Wonderful." Not a good foot to start off on when managing a group. But anyways, if it were to take off, it would have the benefit of it wouldn't be super entry level people asking super basic questions. But I've been thinking about that. I mean, people often accuse me of not listening to people who want like a fifth rule about, I don't know, no spam or ban an entire country, which is borderline racist. I listen every time. Just because I don't necessarily like agree doesn't mean I don't consider it. And even the people that like storm out and make a big show of leaving the group, and I'm like, well, while you've been complaining, 8 other people tried to join, so like I don't care. That's overstating it a little bit. I care a little bit, but don't threaten me. Don't be like, make a 5th rule or I'm out of here. And I'm like, there are groups with plenty of rules. I was in a group that had 10 rules where you could only post on Fridays and you had to have hashtags in order to post, and you had to like suck up to the admin just to get something approved. It was a nightmare. I do not want to head in that direction at all. We have 4 rules. My plan is to keep it to 4 rules for eternity. I will reinterpret the rules. I will tweak them. I will change how they're enforced as new tools come along and the environment evolves. Sub for subbers are sometimes calling it hug for hug and they think they're fooling somebody. No, there's a pinned post, or not an announcement, sorry. There's an announcement in the Facebook group that has a bunch of comments about how we enforce the rules. And I'm open to changing the enforcement, but a 5th rule is not going to happen. That's sort of like a mission statement. And so, but that doesn't mean that I'm not thinking about the problems, the frustrations that drive people to make this request. And so part of that, I think, is frequently recurring questions. And so in this Facebook secret thing I can't talk about with too much detail, I've been learning about some additional Facebook features and some changes and things. And I'm thinking about creating learning units. It used to be that you had to change your group type to social learning to activate the units, but I learned just yesterday that you don't have to. So I'm thinking about creating learning units in the group where there would be some instructional materials, maybe some PDFs, some videos, a document, something that would answer some of those common and frequent questions like, if I don't get monetized in my first year, can I ever? It's like, yes, you can. It's a rolling 12-month total. The number of times I've had to say that is admittedly kind of ridiculous. I like being able to help people, and hey, that's an easy one. Just knock it out of the park easy. But at the same time, it is repetitive for some other members. So if I could say like, hey, no, but check learning module 2 and we'll show you all about it. Maybe that would cut down on that issue. It would be some work to put the work in initially, but then it would pay off over time. These are just some things I'm thinking about. In the meantime, I am trying to use this platform, this channel here, as a place to address those questions as well. Unfortunately, because of our rule number 4, no links commented on a post without being asked. I can't just link drop people to the instructional video. So I'm kind of like being screwed by my own rules there, because it's like, I could make a video that could answer that question and then just paste it every time it's asked, but then I'm kind of spamming and I'm breaking my own rules, and that's not good. So, admin struggles. Anyways, that's not what y'all came here for. Let's see here. Yeah, I was talking about secondary group. I do actually have a second group that has about 12,000 people in it. It's not YouTube related. It's Travel Instagrammers Boost. So if you travel and you post pictures of travel stuff on Instagram and you want to grow that, there's a group that that I created and that I'm the admin of that you can join. It's honestly, in all fairness, it's not as active a community. It's a lot more follow for follow, which currently is not against Instagram's rules as I understand it. So there is that kind of stuff, and since it's not against their rules, we allow it. But I've discovered some cool Instagrammers there that I've since followed and engaged with and stuff. So hey, if you got travel Instagram, join Travel Instagrammers Boost. Let's see here. When able, can you review my channel description? All right, DJ Talks, you got it. I know I've looked at it before, but let's take a look at the current state of things. How long have I been going here? 1 hour and 15 minutes. Cool. That's not bad. Able to put in some time. Think I might... Yeah, I'm not sure how much longer I'll go. We'll see. Getting a little graphic. There it goes. Takes a little while to update. It's kind of funny. That was interesting. That was kind of a cool graphic there with the pandas and stuff. Anyways, this is all about descriptions, so let's check the About page. Off to the About page we go before the channel trailer plays. Welcome to DJ Talks. My name is DJ, your host. We are here to review some of your favorite cartoons of the 90s and aughts. I think that's what people say, the double O's, I don't know. Looking forward to growing our community and having great debates with each of you. I review cartoons from the 90s and aughts. The formatting of 90s and aughts is a little funny because the second time you do it, there's an apostrophe before the 9, and then the second time it comes after the second 0. That's a little inconsistent. It's not a big deal. I'm just nitpicking. But let's see. Because I love the older animation styles of the shows, because hand-drawn cartoons are getting lost time. Maybe lost in time, is that what you meant to say? And I want to remind you of a time long before computer animation was normal and remind you of the memories that you had of the shows. That's great. I'm a giant G1 Transformers fan. Well, I say giant. I don't collect them. I'm actually currently trying to sell a complete Monstructor, a nearly complete Abominus, and I have a couple Pretenders I'm trying to sell. Bludgeon. So when I was a kid, I had 300 Transformers. And then when I had a kid and he got into Transformers, I let him play with them. But then he kind of moved on when Minecraft came into his life. So we've been working on selling them off for the last few years, but those three, just hard to sell. There's a place that a coworker of mine recommended I go to here in Greater Vancouver that I might just go trade them in for store credit and then buy some board games, because I'm a board game fiend. Do I have a good example? Remember, use props whenever you can. Keep things visually engaging. I love Pandemic so much. And I got it on my phone, and it doesn't require. Hey, can I like reflect DJ Talks in my phone? That'd be kind of cool. I had it for a second there. Anyways, you can play it on your phone without Wi-Fi. So when I'm on a plane waiting to take off or land, fantastic. It's also on the Nintendo Switch, so yeah, I'm thinking of trading in my old Transformer toys for board games. Not relevant to most people watching. I should get back on topic. Sorry. But anyways, yeah. So like, I still listen to the music from the animated Transformers movie. I was listening to what was it? I was listening to I think Hunger the other day, and Instruments of Destruction. Oh man, that soundtrack for that movie is so awesome. Nothing hypes me up for like a job interview or something, maybe asking a girl out on a date or something. You listen to Dare by Stan Bush, and you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna conquer the world. I should listen to it before I do live streams. That's one thing. If you're doing live streams or recording, warm up your voice. I got my Google Home Mini, and so I'll have it play a couple songs while I get my space set up and I get OBS all configured and everything, and I will sing along in an empty house, mercifully, because I wouldn't subject other people to that. But it's a way of warming up your voice and just energizing yourself and kind of being ready for showtime. I am a frustrated actor. I think that's obvious. But anyways, I think your channel description's really good. The one thing that I would consider is maybe adding a second paragraph where you cite specific shows. The ones that maybe you get the most views on and the most traffic, just for that SEO boost. Most popular. My Life as a Teenage Robot, Buzz Lightyear. So mention like those two and maybe Kim Possible or something. I'm thinking I'm going a little back further back than you do, mentioning Transformers. I mean, there's always been some kind of Transformer somewhere, but I mean G1. Optimus Prime. That was leadership. I could go on at length about Transformers. I will not bore you that way. Hey, Stupid Robot Fighting League, welcome. I was totally thinking about eating my dinner on the live stream, but the timing didn't work out. So, but the mukbang is gonna happen. Speaking of collabs, I'm going to be in Vegas from the 19th to the 23rd of this month, and I'm going to be meeting up early on with Ace of Vegas, and we're going to be doing a collab. And so I think he's down for a mukbang. So the trick is we got to find a place that doesn't play music so we don't get content ID match issues, because then the mukbang could end up being silenced or not viewable in your country or whatever. And so that's the challenge. So worst case, if we don't get that in time, I'm thinking I'll do a Guy's Burgers review on the cruise ship where we'll get the burgers and we'll bring them to our cabin, and then we'll do the mukbang in our cabin. That is in the works. So I do plan to be a man of my word and get at least one mukbang out. Gotta be careful about promises. I don't want to promise something I can't deliver. Say by Valentine's Day at the latest. That's if it has to wait to the cruise ship and then gives me time to edit. So there you go. Do you do private consultation with clients? to be, full disclosure, I haven't before, but I would be happy to do so. It's just a matter of time, and so yeah, I would be happy to do that. That would be awesome. That's something that I would like to do in the future. So yeah, I mean, whether it's a deep dive channel review here on a live stream, or if we want to do something just one-on-one, we could set up something through Skype or whatever. That would be awesome. And like, if you wanted to show me your analytics or not, whatever you're comfortable with, yeah, that'd be cool. Let's work something out. Feel free to contact me. Email team@vacationimpossible.ca is one of the better ways to reach me. But hey, whatever, just hit me up, send me a message on Facebook or Twitter, whatever works for you. Especially if my email sometimes bounces from Vacation Impossible. It's through GoDaddy and it's not super fantastic. So if email isn't working for you, then yeah, hit me up on Twitter or something. We can talk. Super Robot Fighting League says he's late. That's okay. You had a scheduling conflict, as I recall. And remember, you can sorry, I just saw something you already wrote for future chat, but remember, you can rewatch this from the beginning. It should be available somewhere between 20 and 40 minutes after the broadcast ends, so you can rewatch my flubs and silly dad jokes to your heart's content. Let's see here. Gaminator, you're welcome to use me as a review. Sure, let's take a look. Happy to do so. I'm pretty sure that's you with the pink hair. Yeah, that's you. Okay, so again, a small brand confusion issue where there are two channels of the same name, but you've won that battle handily, my good sir. Because the other one has 3 subscribers, and you've got well over 4,000, nearly 5,000. So you're doing very well. A quick little story time here. I could be permitted. It's my channel, so who's going to stop me? I was at Portland Retro Gaming Expo a few years ago where I met James Rolfe of Cinemassacre, the Angry Video Game Nerd. Super nice guy. But I was in line to get an autograph and to meet him, get my picture taken with him. And back then, I think I had less than 100 subscribers. I don't know. It was a few years ago. And the fellow in front of me also had a YouTube channel, and we got to talking. And so let me tell you his story. Because Gaminator, I'm probably saying your name wrong. I'm sorry for butchering it. This could be relevant for you. This was a few years ago, though, and you can figure out the date pretty easily because it was shortly before the release of the Nintendo Switch. So we're in line waiting to meet James Rolfe, and we get to talking, and he was very nice. His channel is called Rule of Two Review. So he does like a lot of vlogs about Star Wars and gaming. And he had just hit 5,000 subscribers at the time. And he had just been invited by Nintendo at Nintendo's expense to fly to New York City to try the Switch before it was publicly available. Hopefully I'm not violating any confidence by sharing that, but I think that that's important. He said, we were in line, and he says, Nintendo said I had to hit 5,000 subscribers. Like that was a requirement. But he's like, as soon as I can, then I can just ink the contract and potentially go. He had to work things out with like his work and his partner and stuff, but he was hopeful that he could, if I remember correctly. This was years ago. My memory's not fantastic, but the main points of the story should be accurate. And so I think as we were in line, he was like watching his sub count, and I think as we were in line, I think he hit 5,000. And so at 5,000, that seemed to be a magic trigger point, at least in the eyes of Nintendo. Now, I know that Nintendo has a problematic relationship in the past with creators, with copyright and revenue sharing and all that nonsense. They're getting better about it, but I think they still have a ways to go. But regardless of the Nintendo or even the fact that it was gaming, the fact that it seemed like 5,000 subscribers was for someone somewhere an important breakpoint where opportunities really started to happen. And so I'm seeing your channel here at nearly 5,000, and I'm kind of excited on your behalf because if there is any truth to that, I would love to see where you're at after, like, not long after that threshold. What kind of opportunities come your way? It could be amazing. I really hope it is. So anyways, just looking at what we've got here for related searches, care of TubeBuddy, the browser plugin on the right-hand side here, link in the description. Looks like it's your name is a fair term to go after. Some of the related searches include slot machine hack. Interesting. I'm headed to Vegas. I'm not a gambler, but I might come back and watch some stuff later. I don't know. What else do we have here? Most used tags: horror game, Markiplier, scary games. It's weird that Markiplier shows up there twice even. Arc movie trailer. That's unusual. Scary games, horror stories, Arc movie, 31 days. Okay, so I'm guessing you play horror games and not hack slot machines, but I don't know. And so actually what I'm seeing here is no description. Do you not have something on your about page? Did you get to nearly 5,000 subscribers with no about page? Oh my god, he did. He's making the rest of us look like fools. No, I'm kidding. I'm exaggerating. Dude, make an about page. Come on, it'll help. It can't hurt. It's an SEO boost. Just go in there, and even gaming is not a crime. Just type that. Just say, I'm Gaminator, and I believe gaming is not a crime. I play horror games. That's all you have to say, and you're going to be picking up on your name, the word gaming, horror games, and there's going to be more stuff, more SEO, more data that the algorithm can crunch on, and holy god, he's got over 2 million views. Since 2013. I've been on the platform since 2006. I didn't upload a video until 2008. I didn't start taking it seriously until 2016. So mostly this is all in good humor. I do wish you the best, and I'm very excited for you, because I think you're on the cusp of something amazing. I mean, don't take my word for it, but I feel like, you know, you're almost at something good, something good. Not that what you don't have already is good. I just feel like the next stage of the evolution of your channel is coming soon, and let's get you ready for it. So again, no social media links. So again, if you blow up, if a Nintendo or some indie developer or something thinks about reaching out to you, having like even just a Twitter, some other place where you exist, where you have the same profile picture and banner and some consistent content, will increase their confidence about working with you. So I do recommend that. You don't have your country listed, which could potentially just be an issue for business purposes, because country can be a factor. It helps brands that you work with determine sort of the target audience to a degree, and also the legal framework they're operating under. Like, is it FCC rules in the United States, or, you know, is there those crazy, I shouldn't use crazy, but, you know, those EU rules that came into effect. Like, so location could be useful information from a professional standpoint as well. So again, creeping up on 5,000 subscribers, I would highly recommend build a description, get a little social media links in there, and consider adding your country as well. It also helps flesh out your Social Blade stats if you ever feel like checking there, because then you'll get like your country positioning. Okay, so let's check things out here. Again, I'm using TubeBuddy, the browser plugin. Even the free version gives you this with Chanalytics. And looking at the tags. Oh, it's Paul! This is Paul! Your picture is different than on Facebook, dude. Wow. Okay. Wow. I have so much going on with my life that I just don't pay attention to my own damn life. I'm sorry for not realizing it was you, Paul. Jeez. Okay. So if I'm not mistaken, this is the same Paul who was that BingeTube is the brainchild of. Yeah. Okay. That's cool. It was embarrassing for me. Thanks for joining us. I think some of your channel tags could get you in trouble. Hell of a pivot there, right? But no, seriously, you've got tags about Markiplier, PewDiePie, Mr. Beast, Smosh, Jacksepticeye, Dude Perfect. I mean, unless you do videos where you're like reacting to them or talking about them, that's not going to look good to YouTube, and your channel's at risk for doing it. I strongly recommend you remove any of those that might not be accurate. Yeah. Because I don't want to see you, after putting in obviously substantial work and having found some substantial success here, to have that all ripped out from underneath you. So I do recommend, as fast as possible, go in, remove anything that's not accurate, and then replace it with things that tie to interesting, How did you get so many subscribers? I just want to see what your popular videos are, because it's not on the homepage. Ark Survival 2.2. Okay, so you had one video that really blew up. I'm kind of seeing what happened here, and you had like some other. If Red versus Blue was made with Ark, that's a cool idea. I love the first couple seasons of Red versus Blue. It was awesome. That first episode where they're like it's the first gag of the first one where they're looking into the gulch and they're just like, yeah, like, why are we even here? You know, like, it keeps me up at night. And he's like, no, I meant like, what's our mission? What's wrong? Are you okay? Do you want to talk about it? He's like, no, everything's fine. Smart entertainment. Anyways, so okay, you've had a couple of those, and those have been within the last 11 months, and so that's pretty huge. And so that's pretty cool. Let's capitalize on that. Let's keep you going. So Ark Survival Evolved should probably be one of your channel tags. More so than, like Markiplier or something. Dating Crazy? That is probably a little off-brand. It's 33 seconds. I kind of want to go watch that on my own time. I'm curious what that is. Drone Money. So, I mean, yeah, you're straying outside of a niche a little bit. Yeah, wow, this covers a lot of ground. So, I mean, niching down might be beneficial to you, but again, you got way more subscribers than me. Who am I to talk? Yeah, I'm just worried about those tags. I really recommend you address those quickly before you might get in potential trouble. And do you have playlists? 190 subscribers in the last 30 days. That's envious, or enviable, I should say. A lot of people in our group would be envious of that. Wow, I think I'm coming to the end of my live stream. I can't talk no more. Okay, Doom, that's not a lot of videos there. Layers of Fear is 5. Scary Games. Scary Games should be on your homepage as a playlist. Ark's Survival Evolved should definitely be on your homepage as a playlist. And maybe Bendy and the Ink Machine. Take those 3 and put them as playlists on your homepage. So go to the homepage of your channel. When you're logged in, click Edit. There will be an Add Section button at the bottom. You're going to want to select Single Playlist. You're going to want to do this 3 times, one for each of those playlists. Then you're going to want to do that one more time for your popular uploads. That will flush the channel out more fully. Also on the right-hand side, you're going to want to, I suggest having some recommended channels there is a good idea. That's where you can start to kind of like, build some links possibly to some of these channels that you have mentioned in the channel tags. But again, do that instead of this. Don't think that by recommending them that those tags are going to be okay with YouTube. I don't think they will. It is a common, I want to say tactic, but it's kind of against YouTube's terms of service, because it would be misleading. If there's no videos here about Jacksepticeye, why is that tag there? YouTube will not react positively to that. But anyways, back to the good stuff. So yeah, you've got some good channel growth going on with subscribers. Your views have tapered off a little bit lately, but overall, you're having really good growth there. Holy God, 85,000 views in the month. That's impressive. Wish I had those kind of numbers. That would be cool. How many videos are you putting out? Yeah, you're banging out the videos, 20 videos. That's cool. I noticed many times that there's 2 or 3 in a day. I would suggest trying to space them out so that you have, like, I think 3 videos over 3 days is better than 3 videos in 1 day, algorithmically speaking. The first 24 hours of video is very important. So I don't think you want to have one of your videos as new competing against another new video in the same 24-hour period. But again, what do I know? So there's that. I think that's kind of the crux of stuff that I can say. But I think that you've got a lot of potential here. I think you're on the cusp of something big. I think with a few technological tweaks that I was talking about, little set it and forget it things, then that can push you well past 5K and on to the future. And don't forget me when you're famous. All right, let's see what's happening in chat. I need to update the channel review is always helpful. You mentioning it reminded me. Well, happy to help, Achilles. Don't review my channel. It's already perfect, says Stupid Robot Fighting League. Oh, I'm tempted to not listen to him. But that's okay. I respect what people say in chat. I'm not going to review his channel. I'm going to go look at it on Social Blade. 500 subscribers, okay, that's good, but man, your channel's good. It deserves so much more. I don't understand why you don't have more subscribers. It offends me. It offends my sense of right and wrong. You're in the top, 9,000 in your country. That's great. That's something, and doing very well, sports overall and stuff like that. But and I don't generally do shout outs and stuff, but hey guys, when this live stream is done, if you're not going to watch more videos on this channel, go check out Stupid Robot Fighting League. They're stupid robots that fight. Come on. Who doesn't want to watch some robots smash up against each other until the head falls off? Come on. With funny commentary and stuff. What are the future projections here? Okay, it has declining views. That's weird. Did you delete or private some videos? Because, stop. Not like I should talk. Actually, I recently hit 500 videos uploaded on my Vacation Impossible channel, which I'm rather proud of, because that's one of those achievements that you control completely. You can have some luck and get views and subscribers if the algo suddenly loves you or a famous person tweets about you or whatever. But the number of videos put out is something that you completely control and you do yourself. And so I know people and I was joking a lot about, that guy having nearly 5,000 subscribers, Paul. And that is an accomplishment to be proud of, but honestly, I think that in terms of things that we should feel proud of ourselves, if we tie that to views and subscribers, we are giving the control to strangers and to, frankly, a piece of software. And that's giving a lot of control over our self-worth to an entity that is not reliable, you have no personal relationship with. Whereas you feel pride of uploading stuff. And so when I see people sharing those TubeBuddy the mobile app, you get little milestone images and people share them, and I do, and it's fun and it's great. But when I see those upload ones, that's the one where I'm like, yeah, that was all you. So anyways, once I hit 500, you might see that I'm still at 500, and it's been a couple of weeks and I've released videos. What I've been doing is, as I've been releasing video 501, I have been deleting some of my older videos. Very few. I had one video that included some news footage I didn't have the rights to, and I was worried could be a poison pill for my channel. So I deleted that. It didn't have many views, and I uploaded it years ago just because I was in the clip. It was like, hey, here's Ray on the news. But I'm like, no, now that I understand YouTube better, I didn't have the rights to that, so I removed it. And there were a couple of videos that were off-brand. I've got a travel channel, Vacation Impossible. I had a couple movie reviews, like Rogue One. I did a video about the Super Nintendo Classic, and they had no travel relevance whatsoever. So I did go, and as I uploaded a new video here, I went and deleted that it's kind of like the bonsai tree, trimming a little bit. And so I have deleted, I think, 3 or 4 videos over the last 2 weeks. Minimal views, none of them more than 150 views. And so that, and I've been doing a little better lately. And so I'm thinking it's cutting down on algorithmic confusion and it's helping me niche down slightly. But you should be careful about it. I only deleted videos with view counts that I knew I could get. I could get it back within the day. So that if you were looking at my daily view count on Social Blade, there's no negatives, for example. And so that's just a general thought to people. If you're thinking about privating or removing videos, just think about the impact on how it looks on Social Blade and what the impact, positive or negative, might be in the algo. Anyways, so yeah, you're 539 days out from 1,000 subscribers, and that offends me. Because this is the kind of thing I'm talking about. I want to democratize YouTube, so funny, smart, well-produced, original content should bloody well be doing better than it does. Anyways, that's my little rant. John's a wonderful person. Go watch Stupid Robot Fighting League when you're done watching all of my stuff first. Oh yeah, I saw the oh yeah, you know what? I don't think I ever did watch that interview. Let's see here. Not sure what that was on. Can you give me some details, please? Australian morning show. Nothing in Aussie. Uh-oh. I made a little bit of a funny, and I want to clarify this, John, if you're watching. How much of this can I say? You said something about me coming to see you, and it was a joke about how flights to Australia are expensive. I know you're in New Zealand. I know they are different things. I know people mess them up all the time, and it tends to drive the affected parties mad, and I don't blame them. As a Canadian who has been mistaken for an American abroad, I get it. But I just want to say that one thing on Patreon, I was making a joke. Yeah. Just because I'm not going to go too deep into that before I get myself in more trouble. I'm in enough trouble, I'm probably letting my mouth run away with me. Let's see here. In gaming is generally easier to get views. Maybe. I don't know that I buy into that necessarily. I don't know, because it's so saturated and it's so competitive. And so sure, yeah, a lot of people are watching it. Okay. Since 2010, on YouTube, the primacy of watch time, and now anticipated watch time, which is largely the same thing, I do think that gaming has an advantage for Let's Plays and long plays, because it's all about how long people watch for. It's the most important metric on all of YouTube, is watch time. And I kind of wish it wasn't so, because it disadvantages things that take a lot of time, like highly produced scripted content, animation, instructional tip videos that don't need to be 15 minutes long. It doesn't favor them. I don't want to be all skies falling and like the algo hates us and is working against us. It's just they've chosen this metric of watch time, and I understand why. They want to keep people on the platform. In a way, it's a noble goal, because if all they cared about was ad money, they'd only care about views, because more views is more ads presented. Mid-roll ads notwithstanding. But they've chosen to care about time on the platform. And so I appreciate that as a corporate goal, but I do also see that it does hurt some types of content, myself included. And gaming, for long plays and Let's Plays, no disrespect, and I mean that, but it is sometimes easier to make that content much longer. Whereas, you're not extemporaneously having to, I've been talking here for how long? An hour and 45 minutes, nearly 2 hours. So, but that's really hard for a lot of people. And if you're talking like scripted content, getting the watch time up can be really hard, versus playing a game and reacting to something that somebody else has created. And so I think in that sense, for watch time, and anticipated watch time does fuel algorithmic favoring and could get you views. So I suppose in that sense, yes, gaming is somewhat favored. I'll grant it there in that context. All right, let's continue getting caught up on chat from like 20 minutes ago. Half an hour ago, whatever it was. I'm about to be featured on a very popular show in Japan. Totally insane. Awesome. Well, I hope you're big in Japan. I hope you are the macho business donkey wrestler of our time. And that, at least 500 Japanese people come and subscribe to your channel, because, man, you deserve it. You work hard on that stuff, and you put out funny, intelligent content. Enough about me ranting about how they should, YouTube should love them up more. Paul Gammon, that's me. Welcome, Paul. Ray, for specifics, what are your thoughts on the knife-only gameplay video thumbnail? Okay, back to Achilles Melee. Take a look at that. Before I, at some point, pull the plug on this broadcast. I'll probably, let's try to hit 2 hours, and then we'll see. Knife only. Oh, there it was. Yeah, it's great. It's cool. Obviously you're using stock images by the game. The creator, maybe it's a publicity shot or a load screen or something. I don't know the game. So that's fine. I don't know if you tweaked the background picture. The advice I normally give people is in Photoshop, you click the vibrance, increase it, vibrance and saturation. The option is vibrance, but then you get vibrance and saturation. Punch them both up by 25. As long as it doesn't turn the person orange, then that makes the colors pop more. And so like the blue in the uniform, like the shoulder, would probably be more blue at various resolutions. So maybe play around with that. Also, Modern Warfare. The text is relatively small. It's nicely legible, but you've got this blank space in the top right-hand corner of the thumbnail. So if you put Modern Warfare in the top right-hand corner, and you could probably make it a little larger, and with the more consistently dark that's there, either in the top corner or near the center where it's a little darker, it would pop a little bit more. You can make it a little bigger, a little bit more legible. Otherwise, it looks pretty good. There's something weird though. It looks like, and maybe it's just the font. Is this Beebus or Beebus New? I don't know. The kerning, the space between the letters seems oddly inconsistent. There seems to be slightly extra space between the K and the N. I would suggest maybe putting an extra space between the E and the O so that it clearly separates those words. But between the L and the Y, it looks like there's a space. Maybe it's just the font. But it looks like the spacing on knife only is, I don't know, a little inconsistent. I'm totally nitpicking here because I don't have much else to add. It also looks like there is some letterboxing on the image where there's black at the top and the bottom. And it looks like it's consistent across your recent uploads. So if that's an intentional design choice, awesome. But you could possibly just make the image go all the way to the top and bottom edges. I don't know that there's an advantage to going one way or the other. But I think that it would make it look a little, I don't know, maybe slightly more professional because I'm not sure that it has intentionality. It's almost like maybe the resolution just didn't scale exactly the way you thought. So, yeah, I don't know. There's that thought. Because, yeah, I mean, versus some of your other videos, it's one of the, the underperformers, if I can say that. Mukbang YouTubers boost. 10K coming soon for Vacation Impossible. Oh, Achilles, I wish your optimism reflected reality more than it does. I like how optimistic and encouraging you are. You're very motivational. Talking to you always makes me want to, go and try something new and take over the world. But I'm still waiting for, what was it you were predicting that I would be making? Something like... You thought my daily revenue was going to be what was it? 11... I think you thought I'd be making $11 a day by this point, and I was $7 if I'm lucky, and I'm in actuality pulling in $2. Let's see. Future projections for Vacation Impossible. 5 years from now, 5,000 subscribers. So, were that it were true. Oh, how I wish. Hi, Survival. Welcome to the show. Give up smoking. I am allergic. I've never smoked anything a moment in my life. It would kill me. I'm getting over a cough. Your thumbnails are pretty. I want to cuddle them. That was it. Yeah, you were saying something in the Patreon about cuddles. And so I was joking about going to Australia because that's all I'm going to say about that. But it was a joke. I don't want to get in any more trouble. Holy God, with that hashtag Achilles, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. My mother-in-law and her mom are going on a cruise. Carnival even. Well, hey, if they have questions, please let me know. When coworkers of mine or friends are going on their first cruise and they send me questions and I turn that into an instructional video, those videos do very well, which is awesome for me because it gets the views, the subscribers, and a little bit of ad revenue. But really, it's because those are questions that so many people have, and so I've been able to help thousands, in some cases tens of thousands of people based on questions like that. So yeah, please feel free to send me questions, and I'd be happy to address them. I'm going to be recording a podcast possibly with Ace of Vegas, in Vegas. I'm there November 19th to 23rd. If anyone else is going to be in Vegas, hit me up. I got no real plans, so, maybe we could go film something, go do a mukbang or whatever. Just go have some fun. And then I'm going to be doing another podcast in December on the Carnival Panorama on its second ever sailing. So that's for Vacation Impossible. So there's going to be some good opportunities to answer questions that way. And as well, when I'm on the Panorama, if it's something I can film, that can also help too. And I've got a lot of stuff I've filmed for cruises over the years. So happy to help if they have questions. Feel free to tip them off to my channel, as I'm sure you probably already have. I can feel the mukbang in my bones. Yes, it is coming. Skills to pay the bills. You know, it's funny. I was thinking that, what was it? I've earned about $700 in ad revenue on Vacation Impossible since it was monetized last December. And it's just kind of fun to think about the things that would pay for. That would pay for half of the Surface Pro 7 tablet I bought the other day. filmed a unboxing for. That'll be on Vacation Impossible because it's as a travel tablet. But what I'm going to try and do is install an older version of Premiere and Photoshop to see if I can do some editing on the road on a tablet. We shall see. No promises. I'll give it a try. I'll report back on this channel as to how that goes. Cheers for the shout out. No problem. I've been super busy and video production has slowed down. Fair enough. Viewed this as Social Blade instead. That's totally what I did. What program do you use for your live stream? I'm using OBS Studio. It's vanilla. It's super basic. I know that there's better things out there like Streamlabs, but I just haven't had the time to teach myself something new. And this actually works well on my Surface 3 tablet, the older one. So I've been able to stream quite well off of that as well as on my nice new desktop that I've just got. So it's fairly intuitive. Yeah, and it's free, so that's a bonus. I know that with Streamlabs you can have people like donate and stuff. And hey, another revenue source would be awesome, but for now I'm just happy to do this for free because it's fun. And again, because I want to democratize YouTube more, so this is kind of my passion. On top of my travel #1 passion, which is try to get people to travel more. I'd be so screwed on there, nothing original. It's funny. You have to work very hard to offend me. Cuddles. This is getting creepy, man. I love Aussies anyways. I can relate. The positioning of the knife. Come on. Oop. Stop auto-scrolling, chat. Whoa, did my window refresh? Wow, that's weird. Okay. Currently playing Knifey Gunny. Okay. Can you look over my channel? I'm fading fast. I'll take a quick look at Apocalyptic Gaming, but yeah, my energy levels are drifting. So for channel review, I highly recommend subscribe with notifications on so you can join these live streams when I still have energy. Let's see here. Having trouble locating your channel, that's a problem. Is that you? No, that's not you. I'm looking for something with some flamey ready stuff on it, but also with text. So I'm going to change the filter to channel, but having to go this effort, a lot of people are too lazy. They probably won't. It's a super generic term. I'm really surprised TubeBuddy's even giving it a fair 36 out of 100. Now, admittedly, that's for a generic search term, not necessarily a channel name. Yeah, I don't know, man. Don't know that I'm able to do this, and I'm, sorry for gendering you. I don't know if you're a man or not. It's just a colloquialism from a child of the '80s. Everyone was a dude or a man. I'm hopelessly trapped in gender stereotypes. One time I ordered pizza at my mom's, and her condo is really hard to find. So I went out and I put out some signs, and I was like, "Pizza guy," and my last, like, this way, that way, whatever, right? My last sign said, and if you're a pizza girl, I'm totally sorry. I'm hopelessly trapped in gender stereotypes. And it was a pizza guy, but he said it was funny. So, wow, look at all these. This is yeah. That's a rough one. If I'm having trouble finding you here. So I think we'll have to do this another time, unfortunately. But do subscribe with notifications on, and we can take a look. When I have a little bit more time and energy. But the one feedback that I would give is to consider maybe having a name that's a little less common. Admittedly, I don't think you have a space in yours. It's automatically putting a space in. There's one with a hyphen, but still, it's that's going to be part of the challenge, I think, of your channel. Empty wheelbarrow spotted. What that's all about. I was hoping for the knife to be discussed. But these tips are awesome. All it takes is one video. Addicted to the word cuddle. So was I for a time. That was college. Okay, things are getting weird in chat. People are pairing off and cuddling. OBS Studio. I'll donate a kidney to Ray's channel. Wake up, Ray. I'm a dude. That's good. I don't know. I can't figure it out. Dude. All right, I think I'm going to probably call it a night. I've got other YouTube stuff I should do. I might just sit back and play Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition on the Switch because I got that recently for my birthday, and I haven't had much time on the big screen to play it. So Anyways, hopefully this has been helpful. And again, if you're joining us late, if you missed the beginning, you're certainly welcome to rewatch it. The live stream should be available for rewatchability 20 to 40 minutes after we end the broadcast. There's tons of other videos on this channel. I got TubeBuddy tutorials. I got a live tutorial that I did about making a thumbnail in Photoshop. We got member tip videos. Just tons of useful stuff. So, stick around or go check out Stupid Robot Fighting League. And how is that? How is Hyrule Warriors on the Switch? I had it on the Wii U, and I played it to death. I didn't have all the DLC, but I had a fair bit. And I love that game. It was so much fun. And so playing it on handheld on the Switch, it feels just like the Wii U. It's virtually the same. But when you have it docked on the big screen, it is faster, and it's smoother, and it's bloody beautiful. It's a huge difference. So if you played the original and you have if you primarily use your Switch, or you can use your Switch as a home console, I highly recommend it. But if it's portable, you're just going to feel like you're replaying the same game, except with Linkle. And I was worried about Linkle, but actually the storyline's kind of funny so far. It's so hard to find time to play games. I'm still working my way through on easy mode on all the legend stuff, so I haven't seen all of Linkle's story arc yet. I think I'm about halfway through, and so it's pretty good. I like the ranged weapons that she uses, and I was really worried that it was just going to be, I don't know, poorly written. It's like, what's the old joke? What's a camel? It's a horse designed by committee. I was afraid that Linkle would be a little bit like that. Like they were like, oh, we need to make certain adjustments. But no, it seems to have a pretty good story behind it. So I appreciate that. And the game can play is fun. I'm working on a game in Unity soon. Like, playing or designing? Are we going to be able to play the Stupid Robot Fighting League home game? Oh my god, that would be amazing. If you could work with a developer, that could be like a browser game. It'd be like, you can pick and choose and then like maybe draw things on the robot and then make them fight and have stats and stuff. There's huge potential there. That'd be a cool, like, that could be the cash out end game for you right there. Sell to ESPN or something. Is there going to be robots fighting in a league by any chance? This is what I'm talking about. I got to go. It's Sunday afternoon here in Singapore. Bring my friends out with the parents. Yeah, we're wrapping up here, so you probably won't miss anything. So anyways, yeah, thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. I really appreciate it. I do like to give everyone sort of, because I'm Vacation Impossible, I like to give you a Mission Impossible type mission for your channel. And so what's a good one here? Okay, here you go. Let's go back to Achilles Melee for a second here. What I recommend you do is, if you don't already have TubeBuddy, click the link down below. It is an affiliate link, but even if you just get the free version, you're going to do better than not having it, let me tell you. Download that, and then go take a look at one of your videos. I'm going to look at that knife-only video here. I'm just going to pause it. Because when you've got the TubeBuddy browser extension installed, even the free version, you get Videolytics here on the right-hand side. So what I recommend you do is install the browser plugin and go look at one of your own videos and look at what's here, best practices. And I'm going to give it to Achilles here a little bit. No info card added to this video. This has not been shared to Twitter. This has not been shared. Well, it might have been shared on Facebook, but nobody clicked like, so it needs to be shared more on Facebook. And no comment pinned, but there is a comment hearted. Great video. Love the enemy reactions. Nice gameplay. You could pin either one of those. That person will get a notification and maybe come back and look at the video again, another view, more watch time, but also you get that algorithmic boost. So guys, get the TubeBuddy browser plugin, look at one of your own videos, check that you've done all the best practices, okay? And that's hopefully a simple thing. So your mission, if you choose to accept it, browser plugin, TubeBuddy, Videolytics, check your last video. How many of those 8 things have you done? And if you haven't, please do them. All right? And so with that, I wish you success on YouTube. Remember me when you're famous. I appreciate it. Subscribe with notifications on so we can see you next time. And yeah, this has been a blast. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I'll see you in Small YouTubers Boost Facebook group. Thanks for joining for the live stream. This live stream will self-destruct in 5 seconds.